Welcome, lords and ladies, back to the streets of Absalom. I am your humble guide, the Goat King, and I believe I have found a shop that will interest you. Barghest's Bin. Now, don't allow those items in the window to fool you. They are fakes to distract thieves. The real treasures lie within, each well marked and displayed. And should you have any questions I cannot answer, you see that raven in the rafters? That is the proprietor Omera Descanaria's familiar. Grifty-Glim, I believe, is his name, yes. Quite the helpful bird. Much like his master, Omera is always around here somewhere, and she is always giving out advice to up-and-coming adventurers. She even passes along maps and rumors of dungeons and treasures she comes across. She was once an adventurer herself, you know, aligned with the Pathfinders. Her last expedition paid for her to open this very store. While I am not privy to the details, I've heard that last expedition went poorly. I believe she must have lost several dear friends. That in itself should be enough to dismiss the callous rumors of her. What, you've not heard? Well, I would rather you hear it from me. The talk is that when adventurers don't return, she goes out to retrieve their possessions. To restock the shop. Half of the wares you see here could have been repossessed. Perhaps we should move to lighter topics, yes? You see that Barghest statue in the middle of the shop? I brought an expert in to have a look, and she was confident. That is no simple statue, no. That is a petrified Greater Barghest. Now, I'm sure Omera doesn't know this because, as you can see, that statue holds up the very ceiling. The building was built around it. It would have already been here when Omera bought the premises. Credit to Omera, however, for thinking to name the store after it. Now, players, run along while I speak with your game master for a moment. We will rejoin you shortly. There are several issues taking Omera's attention at the moment. You see those bracers on that shelf? The ones depicting a manticore? Those bracers have come into Omera's possession no less than 5 times. Each time she sells them, and each time they are returned within piles of more mundane items. Furthermore, after some careful conversation, I found she doesn't remember ever purchasing them. Now, as you know, Omera likes to pass clues and rumors of treasure to young adventurers, to help them get started, yes? There is one rumor she has stopped passing, except to more experienced adventurers. A map of tunnels under the Westgate district, marked with ominous warnings of a horde, has claimed 3 less experienced parties. Omera's reputation with adventurers sometimes leads to strange interactions. Recently, she was given an odd package, the only explanation being a note. Make sure it sells. She hasn't looked within the package, and has been debating simply passing the mystery to a capable party. Most disturbing, however, is a memory that keeps returning to Omera. A memory of a shop with a purple door just across the street. A memory triggered by the smell of pesh or caustic chemicals. This next information is not public knowledge, and while I cannot divulge my source, I can vouch for his trustworthiness. On her last adventure, Omera and her party destroyed an artifact. This caught the attention of Inasalia, the Lady of Wasting Intoxication, a melodamon and harbinger of the Trelmarixian, the lysogenic prince, horseman of famine. The purple door was an entrance to Insualia's demiplane. Due to an encounter Omera no longer remembers, that fiend now watches through her eyes, taking note of rare and unique items or customers. But it is time we got back to your players before they start to miss us. And now we come to Omera's wares. Shall we cover consumables first? Silencing ammunition at level 9 comes in arrows or bolts for 125 gold. This ammo inflicts the effects of a second-level silence spell on its target, with a will save DC of 25. This ammo has its uses in infiltration, but it might best be used to shut down enemy spellcasters. This is especially notable as the silent spell must normally be cast on a willing target. Stone Throat ammunition at level 12 comes in arrows or bolts for 325 gold. On a failed save, this ammo completely disables a target's jaw or fang strikes, as well as the Swallow Whole ability. Considering how truly dangerous Swallow Whole is, this ammo, when used preemptively, could save many lives. Moving on to runes, we have Deathless, at level 7, is etched onto armor for 330 gold. As a once-per-day reaction to taking the doomed or wounded condition, you can reduce the value of that condition by 1. Short, simple, life-saving. The exact descriptors for excellent adventuring gear. Energizing at level 6 is etched onto a weapon for 250 gold. As a reaction to taking a type of energy damage, you can add 1d8 of that energy damage to your attacks with that weapon till the end of your next turn. This could be excellent in many situations, but oftentimes enemies that specifically deal a type of energy damage are immune or resistant to that damage type. This rune has potential, but only when it is used against the correct types of enemies. Now that runes and consumables are covered, let's go through everything else. Brilliant Rapier, at level 14, is at its core a +2 Brilliant Greater Striking Rapier for 4,500 gold. It is made special by its damage type. A Brilliant Rapier does fire damage instead of piercing damage. It also has the versatile trait for good or positive damage. Duelist's Beacon, at level 8, is fundamentally a very sturdy buckler with a spiked glove that acts as a +1 striking shield spikes for 450 gold. As a 2-action activity, once per hour, you make a strike with the shield and blind the target for 1 round if they fail a fortitude save. Encompassing Lockpick, at level 8, is a magic multi-tool for 450 gold. This lockpick contains Infiltrator's Thieves tools, an Elite Disguise Kit, and an Extreme Climber's Kit, as well as the replacement picks and cosmetics. This was principally designed to equip rogues in high society events with very limited pocket space. Misdirecting Haversack, at level 6, is a leather satchel for 200 gold. This satchel can semi-permanently disguise documents with misleading information. This illusion can be spotted and deciphered, but that takes several minutes. The illusion remains active until dismissed, reapplied, or a document is kept out of the satchel for over an hour. This magic item requires some creative thinking to make full use of its abilities. Scarab Cuirass at level 10 is +1 Deathless Resilient Leather Armor for 1,000 gold. This oddly chitinous armor gives you resistance to negative damage. It also, as a 2-action activity, casts first level Pest Form, but only to turn into a scarab beetle. Silk Spinner's Shield at level 15 is a very sturdy and fuzzy buckler, closely resembling the abdomen of a spider. 2 small spinnerets extend from the rim, acting as +2 greater striking shield spikes. This shield costs 6,000 gold. Once per day it can be activated. First, 8 spider legs sprout from the shield, giving you a 25-foot climb speed till the end of your next turn. In addition, the spinnerets animate for 1 minute. While active, strikes with the shield slow or immobilize the target with sticky spider silk. Lastly, we have the Wand of Spiritual Warfare, starting at 7th level. The base version of this wand casts a 2nd level spiritual weapon and costs 360 gold. Upgrades to this weapon align with each heightening of the spell up to 8th level. For a 19th level wand worth 40,000 gold. The benefits to this wand are that spiritual weapons cast from it apply their critical specialization effects on a critical hit. And the wand can be etched with one of the following runes to grant its spiritual weapon the effects of the rune: corrosive, flaming, frost, shock, thundering, or the greater version of one of these runes. Thank you again for hiring me to guide you through the streets of Absalom. I have been your humble host, the Goat King, and as always, travel with loyal companions.